It's really, really hard doing that.
Better than that, rather brilliantly, we have made a bespoke version of that sting for every single episode we're going to make for the next 3 years.
Yes.
How about that? But, hold on. The slight problem with that is that we were so busy doing that, we didn't actually think of anything to talk about in Conversation Street, did we?
We did.
Yeah. What?
Oh, you'll love this. James May, the world's slowest moving human being, has been caught speeding. Actually charged by the police.
Criminal. That's what he's actually quite proud of it. He did it on a Honda CBR 600RR sports bike.
Yeah, the thing was...
Hot thing.
Richard and I were genuinely astonished when he came into the office and said I'd been done for speeding. We're like, what? Until we found out how fast he was going.
James?
Yes.
How fast was it again?
37 miles an hour.
Madman! Oh, how did you even breathe at that kind of speed?
No, it's how did the police catch you? I mean, were they running?
Gentle jog, yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
The thing is, if you've been caught, because we genuinely don't believe anyone in the world has, but if you have been caught speeding at a speed less than 37, do honestly please write to us and let us know, because we don't think it's possible. And mark your envelope. I'm a tortoise.
And that is all we have time for this week on Conversations.
Whoa, hang on a minute.
What?
You're saying the first ever show, you just mock me for my speeding ticket, then we move on?
Well, it's a busy show. It's a busy show.
It is a busy
Is
show.
it?
Yes, we've got to tell everyone about our track. Yes, we have one. This is the sort of place where you can drive cars at speeds that you can do on the road, but only if you want to go to prison afterwards.
What, like 38 miles an hour?
Well, 39, maybe even 40 from time to time. Right, sticking with Aston Martin, they've teamed up with Red Bull Racing to create this. It's called the 001, OK? It has a V12, no turbos, none of that sort of hybrid witchcraft, yet it produces 900 horsepower in a car that only weighs 900 kilos. Staggering.
Well, more than staggering, that is actually a bit of a magic figure, because that means it has 1 horsepower per kilogram, and no other car gets close to that.
Not even
does it?
remotely close. A Vulcan's nowhere near,
No.
barely half that.
Yeah.
It's staggering. The only problem I have with this, you just have to look at it. See, there's another angle we've got here. Look at that. You know that car is going to be all about aerodynamics and particularly downforce. And I hate downforce.
Well, what do you mean you hate downforce?
Because they tell you that you can go around a 90-degree bend at 100 miles an hour because of the weight of the air pressing down on the body is like having an invisible elephant. What if the elephant falls off?
It's not a real elephant.
Yes,
It
but
can't
if
fall
you
off.
can't see, how can you trust something you don't see?
Wait. No, I'm with him, because what if you drove through a sudden vacuum?
Well, that's not going to happen either, is it? It's not a real elephant. You
Hammond,
don't-
listen. There has to be a speed in a car with active downforce, like that one, where you go around a corner too fast for the tyres, too fast for the mechanical grip, but not fast enough for the downforce to be working. So you'd have to say to the police, I crashed because I wasn't going fast enough. It's true.
Potentially.
Well, there's another point, actually, because the handling is going to depend on the weather, isn't it? Because if it's a really hot day, the air will be thinner.
No, thicker.
No, it's thinner on a hot day. That's why helicopters
See,
can't
I'd be
fly.
messed up already because I'd have the wrong...
Well, exactly, but that's the point. So you've got a really hot day, and you don't really want to be driving a car where whether or not you get round a corner depends on whether or not the sun's out.
So you now want weather forecasts to include cornering speeds?
It's not just weather, altitude. You could drive that car around a corner at 100 miles an hour in Holland, sea level, but what we hit, 6,000 feet up here? 6,000 feet up here, you'd barely be able to get around at 3 miles an hour. You'd crash it into a tree or a visible elephant.
They are real.
That's
They
what
are
would
real.
happen. Exactly. I just, honestly, downforce, I don't like having to trust something you can't see. It's like North Korea.
Or the contraceptive pill. What's an overshare?
OK, there's actually another hypercar I want to draw your attention to. Replacement for the Veyron. That is the Bugatti Chiron. It's got a quad-turbo 8-litre W16 engine, which every minute inhales 13,000 gallons of air. It's unbelievable. 1,500 horsepower, and the top speed is limited to 261 miles an hour.
Yeah, they do say it would do 288, but that would be irresponsible on the road.
It's got diamonds in the speakers for better sound quality.
Of course it has, yeah.
Oh, good, you'll like this. At top speed, the force on each tyre is 3,800 G. A man dies at 9 G. If you drive the Chiron flat out, it'll drain its tank in 9 minutes.
9 minutes? Hang on a minute. 261 miles an hour at 9 minutes, that means you'd have to fill up for fuel every 39 miles.
Yeah.
Well, actually, slightly less, because you can't drive until you run out. You'd have to start looking for a petrol station. So...
Yes, James, it really isn't a practical car, is it?
Can I give you the most amazing stat, though? It's not about the car itself, it's about the people who are buying them, OK? They've got 200 orders so far, and the average person who's ordered one already has 64 cars, 3 helicopters, 3 jets, and 1 yacht. Zuma. He's got one on order.
Didn't say that. Didn't say that.
Should we move it on?
In South Africa, OK, there are 35 carjackings every day.
Every day?
Every day, 35.
I've got to say, well done. That's an amazing figure. I can't believe it. That's just, how have you got time to come here? Because you've got stuff to do.
Well, no, they've all come here in someone else's car.
Oh, so you've already done it. I got it.
Well, what they don't realise is they're all walking home.
OK.
But anyway, look, I've done a bit of research. The most commonly carjacked cars, are the VW Polo, the Toyota Hiace, and the Toyota Hilux.
But those are all the best-selling cars in South Africa.
Exactly, the VW Polo is the best-selling car in South Africa.
So why would you buy a car which increases your chance of being shot in the head and your car being stolen? Why wouldn't you all just buy a car that nobody would want to steal?
Yeah, no, because if I lived here, I'd get something... Well, not one of those. I'd get something like a beige Volvo Estate.
That's just a car you want. You're using it as an excuse to get your dream car.
Look, Hammond, I've explained it to you before. Having a Volvo Estate, is a bit like needing to go to the dentist. It's going to happen. You've got to get it out. Just do it.
Well, I don't want to just get it over with. That's like going to the dentist and saying, take all my teeth out because they're going to fall out. Or go to that barber's. Oh, just pull it all out. It's going to fall out. Go to the doctor. Oh, can you just stop me being able to retain my urine? It's going to happen too. I'm going to bury myself and get it all over with once and
He
for all.
has got a point, seriously. Let's enjoy it before we have to have the Volvo. Exactly, but why do you all buy cars that you're going to get carjacked in? Has anyone got a Volkswagen Polo here?
Well, how do you
You
know?
have.
That's what you think.
Did you buy that for yourself? Your dad bought you a Volkswagen...
Wow! Oh, nice gift.
What sort of madness is this? Has anyone got a Toyota Hilux? Yeah, this is insanity.
Is it yours?
What did you start out with this morning? It's unbelievable. Anyway, listen, we've got to move it on. Because here in South Africa, people have a very interesting approach to preventing car theft. Got a picture here of one man's solution.
Yeah, that's a python.
Yes, now there's no question it's going to work. I would not steal a car that had that on the dashboard. However, a python's not like a burglar alarm. You can't turn it off.
No.
Well, when you come back to your car, how do you say to the snake, it's my car, don't strangle me?
You can't.
I'm pretty sure you can't train a python, can you?
No, you can't. That's why you never see sheep snakes or guide snakes for the blind. They're never caught on. Never happened.
I have to say, in England, we've got an even more stupid solution, OK? This chap's come up with an idea called Bike Mine. Got a video of him here explaining how it works.
It can be attached quickly to protect almost any personal possession you store outside or in a garage or shed. Its robust steel construction is covered in a rubber skin to protect your property. Bike Mine is safe because the detonators are self-contained, so it's legal to own and use. Bike Mine is reliable because there are no batteries to run down and only one moving part.
Seriously? It's not going to work.
What I can't understand is he said it could also be used to protect any other personal property you may have.
Well, like a Ming vase.
Are you
no.
worried about your child being kidnapped? Simply hang this bomb round their neck.
It is. Now, I have to say, James was very, very excited about coming to Whitby because he'd heard that it's the centre of the British jet industry. He was very much looking forward to spending a couple of days maybe looking at old drawings of Concorde, but then he discovered that Whitby Jet is actually this.
It looks like coal.
It is coal.
Is it?
Thing is, though, they've worked out, obviously, you can't burn coal anymore because Al Gore goes nuts and a polar bear falls over. So they polish it up and then say it's precious.
That's interesting, this, because I've got the blurb here from Whitby's oldest retailer of the stuff, and it says, unlike other gemstones, jet is actually fossilised wood.
Yes, because unlike other gemstones, it's coal.
Yeah, but... but it's...
It's coal, isn't it? That's coal.
Unlike other gemstones, Hammond, it's a lot cheaper.
Well, yes, it would be.
Well, no, seriously, though, you can get a jet ring, look, for 32 quid.
Well, you get a sack of it for 10 quid. It's coal.
Thing is, though, no, we were thinking the other day, you know car makers now, they use, like, bamboo and ash and walnut and carbon fibre to decorate bits of a car. Why don't they use jet?
Exactly.
Anybody'd like to have some jet in their car?
Actually, we've been doing a little bit of experimenting, Hammond. I've made a prototype. This is a gear stick with a jet knob on the top. It's brilliant. I mean, it's not polished yet, but you change gear. It does make your hand a bit dirty.
But no, that's a handy reminder.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely right, because, you know, sometimes you drive an unfamiliar car, you're on the motorway, and you think, oh, did I change into sixth? Yeah, I did. I know.
Here's some conversation.
Oh, good.
For Conversation Street. Bad news, there is a problem right now in this country. Not enough people are learning to drive. Seriously, in 2007, just over 16,000 driving tests were conducted. Last year, that had dropped to 4,650.
It's a true fact. In less than 10 years, 16,000 down to 4,000.
It's a big issue.
And I know why. It's because kids leave school these days. They've no idea who Hitler was. They can't add up. They just know cars are bad. That's all they learn. Cars are bad, cars are bad, cars are bad. And then when they do get out of school after work, you know, after school's finished, they go around and you can just see speed cameras and traffic jams and signs saying, please don't overtake cyclists. And they think, well, what's the point?
There's no point learning to drive. I might as well just use Uber.
Exactly. Now, if I were a car maker, I would be fighting like a Kilkenny cat to make sure every car I made was as interesting and as amazing as possible. But instead, what Renault, they give us a Kadjar. How many children are going to say, oh, if I work really hard and get my homework done, one day maybe I can have a Kadjar?
Because that's the car they grow up seeing. Worse still, Nissan Juke.
You really hate the Duke.
No, I hate it.
He does hate. No, he
I
genuinely
hate.
hates.
I object to it existing. It shouldn't exist. I loathe it. On the motorway, you see them with their stupid, like, double bug eyes. Smug little bug. If I see one, I'm mad. I can't help myself, and it's cruel, and I'm sorry if you're in one, but I do. I see them.
I was driving along with him the other day. He was busy telling him a story and he was looking out the window going, I hate him, I hate him.
I hate them.
What's the most boring car on sale in Britain today, do we
question.
think? Get out. Get out. Security, kill him. Brown Astons, I tell you what, if I were the boss of Volkswagen, I'd go and find the man who did, what's that tall Golf called?
Oh, the SV?
SV, that's it.
Yeah.
The one that, it's like a Golf, but for people who have stovepipe hats. And I would bludgeon him with a tyre iron. Why did you do that? Nobody wants one.
Just to be fair, I think VW have bigger concerns at the moment.
OK, I want to talk about the Oxford Ring Road. I know it's miles away from here and it's miles away from anybody watching, but the thing is, OK, for the last 2 years, they've been working on shrinking, slightly shrinking, 2 roundabouts and putting some traffic lights up. Now, do you know how much the budget was for that job?
2 roundabouts, 10 grand a roundabout, I'd say 20 grand overall.
£9 million.
Million. No,
9 million. Can you imagine the builder's face when he came out of that meeting? They're going to give me 9 million quid to shrink a couple of roundabouts.
Well, that's why it's taken him 2 years. He had to make it look like 9 million quid. Really difficult.
This is not a word of a lie. £9 million would buy you a 30,000 square foot house, OK, like this. That is a 9 million quid house to build.
You can have that or 2 shaved roundabouts.
Yes.
For your 9 million quid.
No, actually no, because, and this again is not a word of a lie, a few months ago, Builderman, and it must have been a bet, he went back to the council and he said, I need another £1 million.
And they paid.
And they paid! They paid!
He probably shuffled in, I broke my spade. Another $1 million? Yes, of course, I have it.
Can I be cross for a moment with BMW?
It'll be difficult to stop you, yes.
The thing was, last year, they introduced this. They went, look at that. And everybody went, that is fantastic. It's an homage to the old CSL Batmobile from '72. And everyone's going, God, when are you going to start making it? They said, no, we're not. We just made it just to show you what we could make.
So why do they show us?
Just
Why do
don't
they do that?
do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, no, it doesn't matter because they've come up with something else instead. This look. This is actually an homage to the original 2002, which was the old car on the left. And that, I think, actually looks pretty fab.
It does.
Are they going to make it?
No.
Well, show it to us then. Look what we could make, but we're not. It's a good job BMW don't run the emergency services, isn't it? Oh, look, you have drifted a long way from shore there, haven't you? We could drag you back behind our speedboat. Will you? No, we just wanted you to know that we could.
What they're being is prick teasers.
Oh, you can't say that. I don't think you can say that.
Not sure you can say.
No, I don't think you can say that.
You say prick tease. Is it allowed
Top
today?
tease, that's no different. You've just changed the name. It's
It's
a
not the
different
word.
way of saying prick or dick.
It's a penis tease. It doesn't matter.
Conversation Street's taken a really bad turn.
The point I'm trying to make is BMW must stop doing that.
Whatever it was.
Now, if we had a Grand Tour medal, and we don't, but if we did, I know who the first recipient would be. Because we heard this amazing story the other day. You know, speed camera vans sit at the side of the road, blacked out windows, civil servants sitting inside watching YouPorn, okay, waiting to... That's what it is, waiting for someone to trip his camera. Now, someone the other day snuck up behind the speed camera van, quietly undid its number plates, put them on his own car, and drove past at 100 miles an hour. I mean,